Douglas, we'd like you to take charge of the sanitation facilities, and Mrs. Gossett, would you please help Mrs. Howard with the meal? Jeff, go see if you can get it fired.
Okay.
How many cases of powdered milk do we have, Herb?
Well, we only had 7 last time I counted.
We should have 10, yes.
Mr. Biddle guessed there's a file.
A file? Can he get it fixed? We'll be in trouble if he can't start that generator.
Yes, sir. We need a file.
Hey, Jeff, see if this will do, huh?
I don't think that's big enough.
I'll ask him.
No?
Have him hurry up, will you, boy? There's going to be fallout for sure. You can't stay out in that other room much longer.
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mrs. Howard, thank you very much.
I told you I want tea. Oh, it is tea, Mrs. Starr. It's just so dark in here.
It's still running fast. We'll try it again.
I'm going to have
30, and I think they have a couple of boxes of those disposable ones, too.
9:05 a.m. We've been in the shelter almost an hour and a half now. It seems like just a few minutes ago when I was in bed. Then there was that warning siren. Was that real? And did I wake up then? I wish Daddy were here. Voices, the crowd, like registration at school. No English final tomorrow. Tomorrow? Tomorrow?
Jeannie, stop that.
Could they call Daddy?
No, only civil defense calls.
Which hospital's he at? Tracy General or Riverhead?
Riverhead.
Riverhead. 35 miles. Might as well be 3,500. Do hope they fix the lights. I don't imagine that battery one will last very long. Like night down here. I wonder if the sun is still shining. It must be. What was it Mr. Hassler said a short while ago when everyone first came in?
55.
Come on now, come on, hurry up, hurry up. This way, come on now, hurry now, hurry, hurry.
That makes 59.
That's our maximum. Close it up. It's going to be a beautiful day after all.
How much? 2 weeks.
Okay, everybody in now. Had to take him 59 minutes.
9 more than it's supposed to be in here. We don't have enough food now. Tell us about the water. Did you check the water?
May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please?
Bob, try this.
All right, everybody, can we have a little quiet here for the next few minutes, please?
Quiet, everybody.
We may not have much time. There's something's got to be done right away by all of you. First, I'm Bob Hassler, and most of you know me. I'm the manager of this shelter 104. I might add, it's a pretty good public shelter. Now, thanks to considerable foresight and prior planning by some of you good people, we have some canned food here to supplement our civil defense provisions and water. They are meager, but they'll help make our stay in the shelter a little more comfortable. We have a telephone in working order for emergency use, and I'm sure you'll all be pleased to know that we have good fallout protection here. Now, let me introduce the staff.
Right away, the atmosphere started to change. First, there was fear and concern. But soon it was clear that somebody knew what he was doing and would be telling us what we could do.
First thing we have to do is fill out these registration forms. Jeff, will you help me and hand them out to the folks, please?
Bob, this is Howard preparing some coffee.
Oh, very good. Mrs. Howard is preparing some coffee, and we can all have Everybody listen. Hold your voices down, please. We have emergency power. Stop it, Jenny, will you, Don? It's all right. It'll only be a minute. Please, please. You won't turn over. I'll go out and check it. All right. Hold on to yourselves, please. We'll have lights in just a few moments. Now, I know you all have relatives and friends you're concerned about, but our first job is our safety in here. Now, this building is a pretty substantial structure. The only thing to do now is sit down, remain calm, and continue filling out those forms that were handed to you. You people want some help in filling out those forms? Yes. Right. 104 out. May I have your attention, please? LaSalle, the city we get our power from, may have been hit. And that may not be the end of it. They say the upper wind's westerly. We could have fallout in a couple of hours.
Our new activities began in earnest. We were too busy to fall to pieces. Mr. Pitt, Sunday school teacher turned survival teacher, gave us information about the shelter, the equipment, the immediate situation. Jobs were assigned to as many occupants as possible. Mom was elected to the advisory committee, which worked with the staff. There's a great deal to do after all. The radiological man was busy with chart and meters. Water rations were decided upon. Supplies had to be checked and issued. Safety precautions to be taken. And our first big problem, the generator. Our problem. The 59 of us together in this crowded little haven.
May I have your attention, please? The radio says there's going to be a broadcast by Governor Anbacker in just a few minutes. Now, as long as we have a little time, let me try to tell you what to expect here in the next few days. All information will be posted right here. Team assignments, jobs, training schedules, fallout information, everything. Also lists of people in other fallout shelters as we receive them. And emergency procedures. Oh, incidentally, there'll be no further smoking here until I tell you. We're on battery power, and the forced air ventilator fan isn't working. It won't be any picnic in here. There's going to be a certain amount of discomfort for all of us. Limited food and water. Maybe extreme temperatures. Difficult sleeping conditions. None of us will have much privacy. And we're all going to be subjected to the voices, habits, and the annoyance of other people. We're very crowded and we can't get much exercise. There's a noise problem, and there may be some sickness. We all have our own private fears. But we can live in here as long as we have to.
Well, suppose this town is hit. Tracy, how safe is this shelter?
If Tracy's hit, George, you'll never know it, so there's no sense to worry about it. It's fallout we have to contend with, and that we're prepared to do.
How long are we going to hold up here, Bob Hassler?
Well, it all depends on the fallout conditions, Mrs. Starr, the targets, and the possibility of future attack. It could be for days, or even weeks.
Well, if I don't get to that dentist to get my plate fixed, you've got to feed me the same as you feed that baby, and there ain't enough food for both of us.
Say, if somebody gets sick, can we get a doctor?
Well, there again, it depends on the sickness, the radiation levels, lots of things. I'd say right now we've all got to take care of ourselves. Oh, incidentally, we all decided to ask Jeannie Howard to be the doctor in here.
Oh, I couldn't.
Dr. Howard's been busy all night up at Riverhead Hospital, or he'd be with us. But Jeannie's been working around the office with her father for some time, and Mrs. Howard says her daughter knows a lot more about it than she does. Is that right, Mrs. Howard?
Attention, please. This is State Civil Defense Headquarters. Stand by for an important broadcast. The next voice you hear will be that of the Honorable Derwent O. Ambacher, Governor of our state.
My fellow Americans, those of you who hear my voice already know that this nation has been attacked with nuclear weapons. At this time, we cannot estimate the extent of damage already done. I have been in contact.
Another attack? I don't know. Quiet, please.
Sir, someone knocked me at the outside door.
Oh, all right, let's go.
there's character in the street getting drunk. Can you keep him in here? He's a stranger. I've got to get back to my own shelter.
But we've already got more than... Okay, we'll take him.
Good.
Thanks, officer. All right, come on with me.
I'll get the door.
All right, what's your name?
P. McCann.
Pete McCann, okay.
Contemplating your errors, friends? You know, the fact is, you made a stinking mess out of everything. And now we're all gonna die down here in this black little hole.
Fallout is starting. See if you can get Don Bitterlick and that boy to speed up repair of the generator. We're not going to die, mister. We'll survive.
Oh, that's what the ostrich thinks. But, you know, Mr. Leader, sir, I say it's all bull. And I say, hell with it. That's what I say.
The 10 o'clock reading in here is 1.8 Roentgens per hour.
Anything else I can do, Mr. Hassler?
No, thanks, Mrs. Ford. Why don't you go on over now and try to get some sleep?
End of the first day. Now it does feel like night. The air is rather chilly in here. Radiation is pretty high. Everyone is tired and restless. For lunch, we had survival biscuits, canned fruit salad, and powdered orange drink mixed with water. For dinner, more survival biscuits, a slice of canned pork loaf, and powdered milk. Say goodbye to excess weight the shelter way. We decided to try sleeping all at once, but not too many are asleep. Mr. Pitts, eyes open. Maybe he's thinking about his job. How do you sell life insurance after this? Mr. Hassler, thinking about us or about his son? He's due home from school next week. Mrs. Sugarhouse, still talking. Probably blaming somebody for the attack and not the enemy. Mother, thinking about Dad. I sure hope he's all right. He must be. That stranger, Pete McCann. Funny that none of the adults know him. He's made a lot of records. He gave a folk singing concert at school just last night. He's been way out all day. I suspect he's going to be trouble. That boy Jeff, another stranger. Parents dead, nephew of the Arnolds, been living with them for about a month. They were out of town. He's scared and lonely and doing everything he can to keep from thinking.
What are you doing?
I thought you were cold. I have a sweater on anyway.
Oh.
Hey, I saved some biscuits from dinner, and you didn't eat anything today.
You feeling better?
Oh, yeah.
Listen, if there's anything in that little bag of yours that might be of use, we'd like you to contribute it to our supplies.
Oh, yeah, take it.
Now, we're not interested in anything personal.
Well, neither am I.
Here. We can't cure the war, but aspirins might work on a headache. That's your water. It has your name on it, and it's still full.
What's this?
Oh, sleeping pill.
And this?
Benadryl, it's an antihistamine. Hey, what time is it?
After 10. We're all still here.
Those are guitar strings. Take them. Somebody might want to go fishing.
We'll use them for clothesline. I'll take the sleeping pills and the guitar strings. And I'll get you a ration.
Oh, I don't want anything.
The world didn't end this morning, Mr. McCann. It's still here.
Well, it's not a world we can live in now, is it?
We really don't know about that, do we? I mean, now who can say?
Oh, down. Now, don't give me a lecture on the survival of the species, little girl. The species is a flop. And whether it all goes up in one grand whoosh or carries on for another week or drags on for a month, it doesn't make me...
shut up?
What are you working on, Jeff?
The biscuit cans. They'll make good shapes for the lights. I saw you at school last night, Mr. McCann.
All right.
I really enjoyed it. My brother plays the banjo. I mean, he's not a professional or anything. He's in the Navy. I like guitar myself. You know, you should have brought your guitar in here. I mean, maybe you could have given me some lessons.
Some sweetheart stole my guitar out of my car last night.
Gee, too bad.
Yeah, that's too damn bad.
Oh, come on now. Just because somebody took your
You're
guitar.
a regular little salvationist, aren't you? You're all fitted up with your power of positive thinking.
Let's just stop the arguments. It's sleeping time. Jeannie, why don't you try to get some rest?
Any word on what places were hit?
We're posting what information we have right now.
What about Riverhead?
It's on it.
Second day. There's no use dwelling on what has happened. The news comes in and everyone is getting listless. There's no one who isn't affected. We started training sessions on meeting emergencies in the shelter. It's obvious we'll be here for some time. Radiation levels are dropping steadily, but they're still dangerously high outside. Jeff hung his biscuit can lampshades. Quite an improvement and much easier on the eyes. Many of us worked at various jobs today, except McCann. He let me take his temperature and it was normal. But I don't like his cough. He eats nothing, does nothing. I couldn't eat either. No appetite. And my head is still hurting. 86 aspirins handed out today. Mr. Pitts tried to lead some community singing without much success. Lights went off at 9:45 by popular request. Everyone is upset and very tired. Oh, Mother, I love you and respect you because you worked so hard today and didn't mope and didn't fold up like some of us. And you held Mrs. Ford's hand when she was sick. And I know that your heart is breaking. Third day. I wonder what it's like outside. Training continues. The people are getting bored since there isn't very much to keep them occupied. Advice to self on keeping up morale. Make an attempt to stay neat and clean, personally and in general. Getting news from outside helps. The enemy is worse off than we are, if that's possible. Mr. Pitts conducted a Bible class. It means a great deal to some people. Complaints increasing. Understandable, I guess, about the food, the stuffiness, the lack of space, and McCann. With everyone trying so hard, he's a real sore spot. He won't do anything. He doesn't seem to care whether he lives or dies. I had a brainstorm. I went to see Jeff about it. I think it'll be great for all of us, if it works. Fourth day. The heat is getting worse. All the bombs and all the radiation didn't stop the arrival of summer after all.
I agree with Mr. Pitt. I think we should forget the exercises and the activities, keep the training session. We could do with a little entertainment around here. Sort of cheer things up.
I'll tell you what's spoiling the atmosphere around here. Him. And I think we ought to send him for a little walk.
Oh, don't talk foolish.
Well, maybe he's right and we're the fools.
I brought you orange drink instead of water. You've got to take some food. You're about to get a present.
It ain't much, but I bet it'll play if we tune it.
The whole world's going down the drain. We want a little music.
I got some wire for the frets, too. Mr. Pitcher's using one for a shoelace.
Beat it, you silly kid.
He made it for you. Here, Mr. McCann, if you just take it.
Leave me alone.
Here, just give it a try.
Like I said, leave me alone.
You better stop thinking about him, honey. Now try to get some sleep.
Oh, I've stopped being angry. I'm worried. He looks sick.
Look at what he did to that boy.
Do you want some more aspirin?
Oh, what's the difference, little girl? I'm dying, just like we all are. Slow, sure.
I want to take your temperature again. I think you have a fever.
Don't bother. I understand there's no magic cure for radiation.
You haven't had any more radiation than I have. 42 Roentgens since we've been in here. Not even enough to notice. What's the matter?
I don't know. He's got something. Over 101. Do you have any pain?
Name it. Stomach, chest.
How about under your armpits?
I even got the rash.
He'd better get to the corner cot. Maybe outside.
Radiation? There's no radiation.
No, it's not radiation poisoning. Now, will you please stop saying stupid things?
What is it?
I don't know. It looks like scarlet fever. There were 3 cases on Nicholas Street this winter. Daddy treated them. Have you been around any children?
Yeah, 8 schools this spring. I sing.
Get him out of here, Baba. We'll all catch it.
Scarlet fever. That doesn't make any sense. I thought that... Oh, wait a minute. You're not going to put me out of here. Oh, look, can't you call a doctor? Huh?
Try to get control center.
It wasn't easy. We realized that the hospital was probably pandemonium, and we needed direct contact. Our isolation seemed very real. And some in the shelter were extremely frightened. It took over an hour.
Hello? Yes. Just a moment. Jean.
Hello, Doctor. This is Jean Howard, Tracy City, Shelter 104. Do you hear me? Yes, I will. Doctor, we have a man, temperature 101.2. I described all the symptoms like a bad imitation of a medical soap opera. Followed instructions, checked his throat, lymph nodes, everything I could. Now the doctor asked me to relay questions.
How old are you?
28.
28. Have you ever had any allergies, hay fever, anything like that?
Rose fever.
Yes, he has. Rose fever. Yes, doctor. Does anyone have an antihistamine?
I do. Benadryl.
He has it himself. Benadryl. Yes, sir, I will. Oh, yes. Yes, sir. He's to take a 4 now, 1 in an hour. We're to call back if the symptoms persist. The doctor said he thinks it's an allergy. That's all. Mom! Daddy's all right. There's Dr. Friedman. He's a Tracy General. He told me Daddy sent his love. Oh. There's something I want to tell you. You're a liar. To yourself and everyone in here. You don't want to die any more than we do. The way you've been carrying on with your superior attitude and your phony cynicism. But when the chips are down, when you thought you were sick with something you could put your finger on, like a germ, like scarlet fever. Not something invisible and mysterious like radiation. Then you do dearly want to live, don't you? Well, fine. I suppose that makes you a member of the human race after all. And since you're in the club, Mr. McCann, and really don't want to leave us just yet, the least you can do is pay your dues.
On the 7th day, God rested. We did it on the 6th. It was a real Sunday. Prayers in the morning, a special Sunday dinner of canned stew, survival biscuits, and orange drink. Except for McCann. He had plain water. He's fine today and quite the attraction of our evening get-together in our temporary home. Funny, the room doesn't seem nearly as small as it did on Tuesday. And it's odd, since I'm certain that we've all grown some since that time.
The fire came, then ashes, and then the Beatniks burned. No more tears, no more fears, and no more talk of dying. We're gonna spread the word that the Beatniks